Good morning. This is the morning conversation. In the morning conversation, I'm going to talk about the role that British people and British government are playing in this massive struggle of power between all the big powers in the world who are trying to take control of what is the vacuum that America has left behind. There's a big space there to lead the world. And let's say there's a game of chess, right? In what position do you think we are at the game of chess? What role do you think we're playing? Well, in a traditional game of chess, we are playing the castle because we only can move two ways, vertical or horizontal. That's a simple way. Europe or USA. We have no more space to do the control of anything. Basically, we have taken a back seat on the back of the truck at this moment. So we are on the back of the truck, and other forces are driving the truck. In front of the truck are another 5 seats. So basically, you are right on the bottom of everything. But that's a traditional game, huh? As we know, none of them know how to play a 3D game, a chess game, a 3-dimension game. None of us know how to play the 3-dimension chess game, do we? That's a game that no one has played yet. Where you change the rules of the game, change the setup of the game, where you make yourself the leader of this game, because the game now changes complete design. The floor of the game has risen. There is no more just one flat floor. You got 3-dimension chess game, so you got 3 floors or 3 steps to move around, and that is a brand new game for all of you. The only advantage of you have the rules of the game. How does that sound to you? Changing the tactics of the game that you have performed so far. How does it sound to you that maybe, after all, in a disaster moment, there is a blessing also somewhere. There's a blessing to humanity. I don't think ever God, whenever there's been a storm, there's been calm, and whenever there's been calm, there's been a storm. That's the fortune of our lives. In this equation that we are moving. Our life at the moment are between the prediction that we predicted and the timing. The time of prediction are getting closer and closer. So every time we see something that we have predicted in the past, it's getting right there. Maybe months difference. Before we had years and years of difference. The timing of prediction is closed down. So now we are in prediction. Completely and we are losing time, same time, as we are continue this struggle of power between the big powers. Basically, everyone is in a game. Every single country in the world is in a game to take control of this moment, and none of them at the moment will be able, and even in the future, will be able to take control. So there's the big 5, which are trying to separate power between them by controlling certain areas. So that's where Britain has no more space. British government will now have more space on that vacuum power, which is happening at this moment of time. Look at the stock markets. Who's losing? Who's winning? Look at what's going on on the actual situation. What is happening at the moment? We are in a prediction. We are right there. It's about to change the name of the game, the structure of the game, the building of the game, the rules of the game have completely melted down. Are in a meltdown completely. Whatever you trying to put into and put order you'll not be able, because the meltdown is the division. Divisions are too strong to bring them together to one of our ideologies, and that is the problem. We are the parts are too far now. The center is no more center. Because it's no more center, then nothing can come anymore in the middle. Whoever tried to bring politics in the middle has failed badly. Why? Because the separation the side now is too far. And they have reached a point where they both agree, which they say that they need to help the poor people, but in the way they are just wanting to take this ball, like to help the poor people, is completely opposite of each other. And then it's not going to be, because the system of the capitalism is now built on that way that it's impossible to adjust it just for the sake of some idea. It's impossible to adjust the entire economy just for one part of the people, because it's always been set up from one side of the equations of profit, of production, in the way we proceeded. That's why I said all the books that we have learned, they need to be put in the bin, or completely redesigned again with a new, different game of chess of game we're going to play. We're not going to play the basic anymore, one floor game. You know, the game has changed, and now we have to change with the game. It's just that this moment is going to prolong. It's going to prolong the pain of humanity in every form or shape. If we in Britain don't start rewriting the rules, you will say, well, how the world's going to accept us by rewriting the rules of the game? Well, when you start something new, something that is brand new, that has never been tasted, is going to face the fear of unknown. But with this one here, with this path that we're going to take, the next one, is not completely unknown. It's all known, because all the information we have necessarily accumulated through our thoughts and our books and all and religions and everything is there. It's all there. It just needs to be attached to the rationalness of the truth. Because when you see something with a different point of view, the entire vision of that geometrical vision or that we have in our mind when we process an idea will change, because with the true facts you have also the true starting point of the intention of the theory or of the physical or object or subject we perform on our heads. So, as the nature is changing the rules, as the above are changing the rules, it's only us we're holding tight the old game without if holding tight the old game that we've been playing of the struggles. So, because as above and below are already moving to one point, humanity also has to move to that point of starting point. This is the reason why we as humans have called it our progress. For the very reason, the friction and the fight of a power that is now, for example. Let me just give you a background of that fight. Everyone has read the book behind somewhere, somehow of this moment. Don't be fooled that they are just playing the game of just doing around the president and this and that because they don't know. They know it. They know, but they know on a different point of view whatever they believe. And because that, for example, as I said before, the Republicans have made already Donald Trump a king even before, that's on Michael Moore's movie, is a clear where people put their hands behind the shoulder of Donald Trump and everyone touches their shoulders. That is giving the power to that man. Okay? That's how they believed. So they created a king which is a fake king, because the fake king does not know the truth. So the other powers of struggle around across the world, they don't know the truth. You don't know the truth as Prime Minister, but the person next to you, the Chancellor, he has something to do with this. I have mentioned before that his presence in your cabinet is not an accidental, because he holds a lot of information that he accidentally or subconsciously holds for me to decode. Remember that he comes from exactly the same area where King Kalki comes from also. So it's not an accidental. Nothing in this world is accidental. Everything happens for a reason. The fact that you pointed him just before it as entire moment has changed. The rules of the game, no matter how you play it, those rules are not valid anymore. Every rule of the game we have organized before to keep our economy running, those are completely going down. Or political views, or political ideologies, or beliefs, they're all becoming invalid at this moment. And we can see that. We can see that that's invalid because the validation of our rules are not anymore applied to certain people. Once certain people go above the laws, then that's where you have not anymore fair system. The system has fell out completely for all of us, because some of us are above the law at this moment, and when that happens, you have the democracy in itself has fallen with the face on the floor. That's absolutely true now. The democracy now is with the face on the floor, and people are trying to dig the 6 feet under. There is place and space to save the democracy, and a way and a format to change democracy. We're not going under the rules of a command to something. We're going only to the rules of a command for temporary, so we can adjust our democracy. We can adjust ourselves in this new world, in this new technology, in this new. We cannot even comprehend how the nature, for example, is changing around us, which might think it could be for good or for bad, but it's changing around us. The underneath our ground, the structure of the earth is changing. You know, there will be green everywhere. There will be more tree surgeons than surgeons. That's how much we have to keep it nice and clean and in the future. But we need to start as soon as possible. We need to start this new approach of life. We need to start this approach. We need to let our personalities, our egos, our knowledge, our believing that we know everything outside of the door, so we can enter the new world with a complete new understanding every single thing. There is a reason why people will have not, for example, put, how can I say, clicks in my page, comment, not even bad or good. Not a single comment is in my pages about anything. Why is that? I mean, I know there's 1,000 of readers who have read this or have listened at least for a few minutes, and yet none of them has decided to progress or to just pay attention. Maybe if one or few of you start paying attention to my words, human beings, not the governments, not the power, because the power cannot see the struggle. They don't see the struggle behind the powers that they creating, the vacuum of power they're creating. You know, they are blind at the moment. All of them are trying to find a way how to get out of this on an old fashion, without not knowing that there are new rules on planet Earth to be used. Our new rules of the game, our new leaders of the game, which will lead this new planet to the most amazing and most beautiful ever creation of humanity. Imagine the gardens of Babylon. That will be in the middle of the cities everywhere. You say, how can you promise all this? I can promise that because I know that the entire movement behind, once we start rolling, and once we start seeing the benefits of this new system of a fully economical growth across the world, not just in Europe, but everywhere where we are. A lot of, for example, once we create a new federation, that federation will create and will remove all the dangers that are presented to humans in this planet. And we're going to do that very quick. Everything that we buried under the ground, we need to remove it out before it shakes out and it leaks. All the energy plants or the power plants we got, those have to be reassessed completely just before the time comes, because what I'm saying that everything around us is moving. Everything around us is moving. Only we, as humans, are falling back with the movement of climate change, with the movement of underneath us that none of us is actually even observing anymore, and the move which is within us at the moment. Because I call this silent revolution, and none of you believe that this is a silent revolution, because none of you understood what on earth I'm talking about. This is a silent revolution. The silent revolution is that you are participating into something bigger than you even know it. You are participating on changing the world forever. Forever, because this is the last chapter. And this last chapter needs to be done in a precise, on the precise movements of every single human. We cannot have, for example, some rich man wants to go up in space and just ruin the rest of the of universe because he doesn't know what he's doing up there. We cannot have a private stupidness go up there and blow up all of us because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're touching. They don't know what they're gripping with. All they know is the theoretical. Remember, it's nothing practical out there. Everything is theoretical that we know because we haven't experienced nothing yet of the truth above us. So all these flights that people are trying, these private companies, I don't know what they call, but they have to kind of like, hold on a second, boys, you are not yet ready to go into space, because that's a world that doesn't belong to you, it doesn't belong to me, and it doesn't belong to anything. So that world needs to be carefully approached. You know, I heard once one of these big inventors what they wanted to do. They wanted to grab, for example, I don't know, of this material, what you call it, antimatter, and I thought they want to grab this and just imagine the power that man will have if he actually managed to get that out. What power we will have above all the humans. Do you think you'll be a man like me? No, because you'll never be able to be a man like me, because there is only one like me and there's only one like you in this planet. So we should be very careful how we progress in the future, because the next future is not about, the reason why all the books are ignorance at the moment, because those books don't really manifest the truth out. They manifest an ideology, a religion, a political view, whatever they were living at the time. They wrote the book. So that's why the book is inaccurate in some ways, but also is correct. So by approaching all our knowledge with a new understanding, with the new rules, then those new rules will open the minds and the eyes to something much more in those information that they have accumulated and stored away. And I'm going to repeat this. I am from an unexpected side of the scholars, where the scholars thought that this manifestation will not happen because of the human past. So they thought the evil cannot be mixed good with the dirt, the sinful cannot be mixed with the good, because even that is an idea which now has collapsed down and say that's not true. You can be a lot of things worse than me, and yet you still have a power to change the world. You know, you still might have the power to change the world. There's a lot of other people that will be awakening with the same moment as I'm awakening. I have understood a couple of them already, and let's hope that this is going to continue. But what I need now, I need the politics stop. Now it's time to change the game, to change the rules of all games, all of it, because a new understanding has descended in the planet Earth. A new way of living has descended. You can see it, but you're not acting by yourself. You can see it, we call it climate change, and below we don't even know the heat is getting greater. So think about, are we going to change and just save billions of lives? Or we can just play the game of the power in the way it's being played now, with old rules and old tactics and old threats and old, if you don't do this to me, I'm going to press the button over there. Or some sneaky stab back in country. Are we going to play those dirty games among us? Or we should just get the real game and play the true game, the three-dimensional chess game now? Because that is here to be learned and to be manifested out and to be explained. Well, have a good day. This is my morning chat. Today is the 22nd of May, 2020. We are 2020. Have a good evening. Have a good morning.